What happened to men being the pursuers? Y'all don't chase anymore.
Question, do y'all boys actually ask someone to be your girlfriend anymore? Like, you don't even have to buy anything. I don't think y'all realize how easy it is to make us happy. Seriously.
Okay, I have a question for men. Why don't you guys approach us in public?
Ah, boy, here we go.
Exhibit A.
This place is great. You know, it's whimsical and fun.
What are you looking at, motherfucker?
In response to not getting the attention I deserve, I've decided I will cause problems on purpose.
Men.
Bitch, you gonna step on my fucking toe, bitch, with them fucking cowgirl fucking boots, bitch, disgusting. Exhibit B.
So I asked him to buy me a $60,000 necklace, obviously, and he was like, "You don't even have shoulders. How you gonna wear a necklace?" And I was like, "What? Have you ever seen a necklace? It's not a jacket. It's for a neck. And guess what? I have one, dummy." And then I dumped him. I'm sorry.
I was in rehab at like 15. I feel like this is not my biggest issue.
Exhibit C.
Ew, don't bring up that don't get me fucking started.
If she likes being choked. If she wears sunglasses in a club. If she's 5'3" or 5'5". If she listens to Summer Walker or Future. If she currently has 5 or more unread DMs. If she supports Arsenal or Chelsea. If she's ever made a private story just for the person she likes.
I made a decision. Case closed.
I am actually starting to take offense. A guy came up to me yesterday and he was my height. He was not attractive. And when he told me what he did for work, I was just kind of there like, what am I supposed to do with this package that I'm seeing right in front of me? Immediately he asked for my number and I was like, to do what? Like, what do you want to do with my number? And he was like, so I can, contact you. And I was like, to say what? When you saw me, you decided that we could one day go together real bad. And I am offended by that. I put in time, energy, and a lot of money to look like this. Now you want to come offering me nothing so that I can continue to maintain myself and then you get to reap all the benefits for free? Patriarchy is a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing, bro. I think men should start approaching women like they do if you're giving a 2-minute elevator pitch to an investor. 7 guys came up to me yesterday. You have 2 minutes to explain to me why you should get my number. Because he came up to me once and I said no. And I told him to circle back when he has, an explanation or reasoning for why he should have my number. So then he came back 30 minutes later and then he was like, okay, well, I have reasons. I said, okay, cool. What is the reason? He was like, I like long walks on the beach. I walked away. I'm truly offended.
I actually took offense that this mid actually made this video, and this is why most women in the West will die alone and single, because they don't want to build anything with the average guy because they think they're better than most males. And 304s like this one is why many men in the big town say no marriage, no cohabitation, no commitment to long-term relationships. So in the end, they get what they deserve. Nothing. This female thinks just because she's getting passed around by the players and maybe some high-value men that she's on the same level as those men's level, as in she thinks she's qualified for a relationship with those men, when in reality, she was the discount escort for them. All they had to do was pay for her plane ticket and hotel instead of paying that plus paying per hour. Top comment says, I just give my number and block them if they call. I don't have the energy to keep the conversation going, like take the number and bye. Getting females' numbers doesn't mean anything now because they give it out like candy. This isn't nice. If a guy approaches you and isn't rude, putting him down because he isn't in your time isn't cool. And thoughts wonder why men don't approach anymore. An average guy isn't destined to be average for his whole life. He can increase his value with a better job or promotion or figure out a good business. He can also increase his SMV working out. A woman goes downhill after 26. No matter how many promotions she gets, which will make her more entitled, the level of interest she will get from men will still make or break depending on her looks or the lack of and her age. The entitled 4 responded to the comment twice. Every time you get the urge to defend men, don't, because he used his second chance to further waste my time. Asking a man what he wants to do with my number isn't rude. I gave him an opportunity to circle back for a second chance, and look what he did with that. Yeah, it is rude because she's not valuable in the business world, so it's not like any man needs her to start a business or do something complex like engineer a bridge. She's just being standoffish. It could be a shit test, but then only the players can pass that, and that's why she's still single, because those players have already smashed and dashed. To say what? And she responded, like I just didn't understand. Like, sir, I don't need to hear anything else from you. You can deal with this, or you can go overseas and have at least a decent conversation with traditional women who aren't interested, but will still treat you with kindness and let you down easy. Not every man is going to be their cup of tea, just like not every female is going to be attractive to you. The difference is that they value men and the dating culture, and they know being rude and uptight will eventually make it harder for themselves to find the man they want. They're also realistic. They know they're not perfect, just like the men they come across, but they're willing to give and take because they know a relationship with a good man is better than being single.
Surprising my boyfriend with a new car I bought.
What the fuck is this?
What? You don't like it?
Is this a rental?
No! I just got it. Remember I said I was shopping?
Say you swear.
Remember you said to go shopping?
You lying.
You said to
bought
get
this
something
shit?
we both like, yeah? Well, no. I mean, kinda.
How did you afford this?
Yeah, that's what I mean by kinda. Here.
Fuck you mean kinda?
That's what I mean, kinda.
How did you get my credit card?
You gave it to me to go shopping, remember?
I did not give it to you.
Yes, you did. You remember you said here. You were on the game. You're like, here, yeah, whatever. Get something we both like. So,
Alexia,
instead of getting
I'm gonna
clothes...
ask you right now, did you buy this shit on my credit card?
Yes. You had a better credit score than mine. Shut the door. What the hell are you doing?
Wait, you're not gonna tell me what to do on my fucking car. This is my shit.
No.
On my credit, this is my car.
But mine
Are you
is on it.
crazy? Are you dumb? Get out the driver's seat. Get out my driver's seat. Get out.
What the hell?
Get out.
Why?
Get out of my car.
You want to test drive it?
Yeah, I'm gonna test drive it, all right? Right back to the fucking dealership.
What?
Are you fucking crazy? You're nuts. You're nuts. You're nuts. Okay. I like that.
It's always a catch with modern women when they do something nice for you.
Yeah, it's true. In my experience, most alternative men don't want to date alternative women. They want to date very normal looking women who come from good families and have a good job and make enough money to help support them. Most of the alternative men I know, realistically, they're out there sugaring, but they don't want to call it sugaring because they're in denial. They're in denial. They're sugaring. And I get it. For the women, at first, it's kind of fun. It's kind of exciting. Look at this skateboarder with tattoos who listens to music you've never heard of and sleeps on the ground in the living room of an apartment he shares with 6 other dudes. Is interested in you. Oh, that's so fun. That's so different from your normal life where, you know, you have like a 1-bedroom apartment you rent and work in an office and your life is totally put together. I get how that could be exciting. But I feel for these women, I really do, because lots of times they don't know that a year from now, they're going to find themselves loaning their shitty alternative boyfriend, you know, money so his DIY band can make it home from Arizona where they're on the last leg of their tour and ran out of cash. And, you know, obviously the boyfriend doesn't have a job because it conflicts with his art, which I'm sure you understand, babe. Which is why you also need to Venmo him $5 so he can get a burrito from Taco Bell. And when he gets home, he'll repay you by telling you he had sex with 16 other people on tour, even though you agreed to a monogamous relationship. And when he meets your parents, he will utterly ignore your mom and dad and make a 5% inappropriate comment about how good your younger sister looks. I feel so much solidarity with the normal looking women who end up with the worst of our alternative men. I feel bad, you know? Because they don't know what they're getting into. We've had decades of going to shows with these guys. We know what to expect. The normal looking women, though, they're too wholesome and pure for this. They don't deserve this. And I'll tell you, the normal looking chicks are not getting the best of our men. They're getting the worst. We gotta do something about that as a community, I think. We need to collect our stick and poke bros, lest they ruin some sweet girl named Megan's life.
She's not talking about the average so-called alternative males who go to shows. She's talking about the chads who are part of a struggle band. The ones that many women will support despite the probability of actually making it big is like less than 1%. But they'll support these dreamers because the upside is so great and it'll provide them with a vacation lifestyle for the rest of their life. And it's exciting that the man they're with is getting attention and has groupies. These 304s live on the fumes of a dream of being a wannabe entertainer. And to answer her question, the reason why these alternative males prefer the plain Janes over the alternative chicks is because most men are attracted to pure women. And the alternative styles on women make them look like they have mental issues, especially daddy issues, which means they deal with the hole inside them by becoming a glory hole. Just like to most males, tattooed women look road-worn and used up, as lots of women get tattoos as quote-unquote ink therapy to deal with their trauma. The second most liked comment with over 10,000 likes says, "They are definitely sugaring. Thank you for acknowledging it, LMAO." They can't sugar if females aren't supporting them, but because these females would rather be with broke Chads and Tyrones and not lower their physical standards, they end up supporting these bums. Yet, they reject average males with good jobs all the time. Yup, I paid for 100% of my ex's living expenses. He still owes me over $3K for the speeding tickets he got in my car. Again, these females refuse to build anything with an honest and hardworking guy, while they'll support a 6'2" bum who smokes weed and plays video games all day, and even makes excuses for him. It's always the alt guy that every alt girl knows to stay away from, that ends up getting with regular, unknowing girls and ruins their lives. How did these alt girls know to stay away from the alt guys? They've been used, that is, pumped and dumped, by these males already. You see, most of these alt females have daddy issues, and that's with any subculture. If they had strong fathers, their fathers would keep them away from every type of bum there is. But because they don't, they learn the hard way through emotional damage.
I cheated on my husband of 14 years and lost him forever. This is long, but it's something I need to get off my chest. My husband, 36 male, and I, 36 female, have been together for 16 years and married for 14. We have 2 daughters who are 13 and 12. About 3 months ago, I cheated on him with my coworker once, and I immediately regretted it. To be honest, I still haven't figured out the real reason why I cheated. On the surface. The reason would be that my husband was too caught up with work for a couple of months, and I felt neglected and unappreciated at times. I know that this isn't the real reason, so I'm trying to figure it out through individual counseling. I only cheated on him that one time and immediately told him the next day because I couldn't bottle up my guilt and shame. He was shocked at first, but then went on to call me the most horrid names. I deserved it. I deserved it a lot more than that. I don't even know how it got to the point of me sleeping with my coworker. It started with innocent flirting, and before I knew it, I made the worst mistake of my life by sleeping with him. I wish I'd gotten hit by a car the day before sleeping with him. I cut off all contact with my coworker and gave up my phone to my husband. I wanted to reassure him that I was willing to make this work on his terms. Whatever they were, as long as he would give me another chance. Even though in my heart I knew that I wanted another chance to prove myself, I told him that I would understand if he went through with a divorce. Anyways, I told my husband that I would do anything to regain his trust and express my sorrow and regret for having hurt him so much. My husband has always been the type of guy to give a person only one chance. Even in his friendships, if the trust had been broken, he wouldn't give the other person another chance. He said that he wanted a divorce, but then the whole quarantine thing happened and he stayed in the house for about 2 months and didn't proceed with the divorce. For the first month, he treated me very coldly, and the only time we talked was when it had to do with our daughters. I slept on the couch and tried to give him as much space as he needed, and only reminded him from time to time that if he ever wanted to work things out, I'd be more than willing to, and would be completely devoted to the process of him working things out. He even said some spiteful things during that month and distanced himself from me completely. During the second month, there was a change as he began talking to me again. We talked about the daily stuff and even watched movies together with the girls as a family. I felt like he wanted to try reconciling, and I was so happy. I was thrilled that there might be some chance to save my family, to save us. Eventually, through the next couple of days, I could sense us becoming friends all over again. He even invited me to sleep on the bed again. Oh, Jesus Christ. A betrayed spouse sent this story to me and told me that it was a proper atonement. Okay, so bear with me. Bear with me. A couple of weeks passed by, and we were getting along even better than ever. We were spending time as a family again and had gotten closer with each other as well. I felt really good about the way things were going, but I wish I'd suggested marriage counseling. I just didn't want to pressure him and have him think that I wanted to sweep this situation under the rug, or I was trying to influence him to not divorce me. One night we were drinking a bit, just talking in the bedroom, and I felt a genuine connection rebuilding. It felt like we were falling for each other all over again, and it made me so happy. This is the part I regret now. I decided to make a move on him and straddled him while we were laughing at a joke. We looked each other in the eyes so naturally. I began making out with him. It honestly felt like we were 20 all over again. He kissed me back as well, but after a while, he just started crying. He told me to stop and said that he couldn't. I felt so awful because I felt like he wanted to, but didn't at the same time. It broke my heart directly to see how badly my stupid decision had hurt him. I told him that I was sorry and we went to sleep. The reason I say I regret doing this is because I feel like this moment pushed him away forever. 2 days later, he informed me that he wanted to go through with the divorce. He said that he just doesn't think he could make it work even after trying for the last 2 months. I wanted to fight with him about it, but I just told him I understood. We had already decided before that if a divorce was to happen, it would be on fair terms. Sure, we'd both have lawyers and we'd agree on a lot of stuff together. He wanted to take a 2-week trip, but he would come back to pick up the girls after his trip. We both mutually agreed that he'd split the time with his girls after his trip. They would spend half of the week with him and the other half with me. I even helped him pack up his stuff, and we finished. I just bawled my eyes out, and we hugged it out. After his 2-week trip, he came back, and it felt good seeing him again, but I knew it wasn't the same. He just smiled, and we made small talk before he took the girls. We're both really good parents and want the best for our kids. Today I got served divorce papers. It hurts so much to know that I lost my best friend because I was stupid. You were starved for attention, okay? Not stupid. Sometimes I roll over to his side of the bed in the morning and I hate how I don't feel his body there anymore. I miss his smell, his smile, his voice. I miss him filling up the entire room with his loud, adorable laughter. I miss him so much. The thing that hurts me the most is all of this is knowing how badly I hurt the person I love the most. I wish I could go back in time and undo what I did, but I can't. So now, here I am, writing about it on Reddit while crying when there's nothing that I can do about it. I wish I could let him see for himself what I genuinely feel in my heart about how sorry I am and about how I would be the most devoted wife ever if he just gave me another chance. To let him know how much I love him and that I literally would do anything for him. I fucked up the most perfect thing that ever happened to me. I wish I could get him back but I know that I lost him for good.
Newsflash, cheating is the one thing men cannot forgive in a relationship. What did she think was going to happen? Him being okay with his wife getting plowed by some other dudes? It says she didn't love him. At the end of the day, it just boils down to that. And I'm glad he has standards and left. No man should ever take back his cheating ex. And it's always the excuse my husband didn't give me enough attention. Well, no shit. He's too busy paying the bills and keeping a roof over his head. That's like the excuse the dog ate my homework. This excuse is implying men would choose more work for no reason over the affection of their significant other. The real reason why she cheated was because she wanted to, which is back to the real reason, that she didn't truly love him. Also, whenever a modern woman voluntarily confesses to something, it's always to hide something bigger or not the whole truth. So I'm willing to bet this isn't the only time she cheated on her husband with that coworker or just with that one coworker. And this is why it's a fool's errand to be committed to a career woman, because she, on a daily basis, puts herself in positions to cheat. For example, she's around high-value men that's in her company, which is in a business district. This is like men going to strip clubs daily and trying not to get lap dances or look. Eventually, they can't resist and they'll give in. Once trust is gone, there is no turning back. Loyalty is one of the most underrated qualities a woman has. Yet most men don't realize this until she cheats. No second chances. If it happens once, it will happen again. I highly doubt it was just once, but let's just say it is. Keeping her says you're okay with it. Notice how many times I and me is mentioned in her confession. It wasn't a confession or an apology, but damage control and excuses. It's not just their relationship that ended, she nuked her whole family for a fling. The family is broken up now, and the daughters won't have a dad to protect them from themselves when they're going to get a ton of attention from males in high school.
I smell something burning. I come out here, and she's waving a tortilla to try and blow the smoke out. Now she grabs a plate.
It was stronger.
What did you do?
I was trying to heat the tortilla.
You heated it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's...
I don't know how I'm gonna get that up.
Cooking fails are back, ladies and gentlemen!
It didn't work. How was
And why are you wearing a mask?
Because it smells. And it was smoked.
Oh lord.
If you get a wife that can't cook, at least have her look like a model, because otherwise she's completely useless. If your balls aren't empty and your stomach isn't full, then the wife is just another mouth to feed. The reason why trophy wives don't need to cook and clean is because they're smoke shows. Their stunning beauty says the man is successful and usually means the kids are going to look like models. Especially the tall runway models. Means that the sons are going to be at least 6 feet or taller. But back to the average husband experience in the United Socialist States of America. This is what a majority of men have to deal with. This is a nightmare, not a dream that anyone would ever want. Even the men who live in huts on dirt floors. At least she's trying, but the husband can't try to pay the bills or try to do his job or they'll be homeless. The husband has to be good at his job or he loses it, yet the wife can feed him burnt food and isn't ashamed about it? Why? Because the government would help her divorce rob him and turn him into an 18-year slave if he kicked her to the curb as he should. Let's see what the commenters think. One of the top comments says, "It's a three-fer, cooking fail and 2 blonde moments all wrapped up in one. Yeah, she's not hot. Blondes are supposed to be hot. She looks like a post-wall Karen, ready to tell on someone to the manager. I'll tell you this, short men cannot be stupid because they'll end up homeless. Ugly women by default need to be Michelin star cooks. Okay, not that level, but you know exactly what I mean." Another comment. "You heat the tortilla in a pan, not directly on the stovetop. I'm a guy and I know this." I think she was thinking about cooking it the traditional Mexican way, which uses a gas stove, which has a stovetop, that is burners, that lifts the pan or pot up to give the gas flame some room. Thus, you put the tortillas on the burners, but it's for a short time or they'll burn. The text reads, "My mom threw herself a birthday party and invited over 40 people. It's 5 p.m., no one showed up, and it started at 4 p.m. I'm crying. And that's why we say modern women don't have real friends, but frenemies. Yet they're willing to throw away a man who may be the only person who's truly on their side for an HOE phase or a divorce robbery. This is why men are going MGTOW." As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.